这几年国际经贸局势风云变幻，但我们也从中看见产业转型与重新布局的机会。
Vice President Hsiao assures Taiwan business leaders that the government will help them weather the impact of U.S. tariffs. Taiwan continues to lobby for its participation in the UN.
人大期间的话呢，外交部也已经积极的竞洽友邦以及理念相近的国家，能够争取在相关的各国能够以最适当的方式来助我。
Typhoon Ragasa has moved on from Taiwan's southern waters, but potential continued heavy rainfall has people worried about rising produce prices. Plus,
a major badminton tournament has kicked off in southern Taiwan, with hundreds of athletes competing for gold. We'll bring you the latest at the event's first day.
good evening and welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Eric Gao. Taiwan's government is trying to help local companies boost their international presence. But even as they encourage companies to diversify abroad, many at home are worried about that strategy. Chris Gordon reports.
请大家掌声欢迎副总统。
热烈掌声。
Taiwan Vice President Hsiao takes the stage to address a business leaders forum and reassure them in the face of global trade tensions.
那这几年国际经贸局势风云变幻，不论是地缘政治的风险，还是我们看到太平洋的彼岸有美国的关税挑战，那这些变局虽然为大家带来不小的影响，但我们也从中看见产业转型与重新布局的机会。
It's a message meant to bring calm to a business community on edge, especially those with businesses abroad. Taiwan depends heavily on its exports, which make up about 70% of its GDP, and there are at least 40,000 Taiwanese companies abroad. Tensions have climbed since U.S. President Donald Trump began his global tariff plans in April, with a 20% tariff on most Taiwanese goods starting last month. U.S. tariffs and cross-strait tensions have led many Taiwanese firms to expand beyond their traditional investment destination of China.
分散风险的需求也越来越高。那过去呢，中国加一，现在我们看到的是中国加一加一加一。我们在北美的投资，在2023、2024年的时候已经创下新高。在2023年的时候，我们对于欧盟的投资也几乎是占了20%。
One example is chip giant TSMC, which recently made the largest direct investment in U.S. history. And while that may help lower tariffs, it's also raising concerns at home. A recent poll showed that roughly half of Taiwanese people are worried that TSMC, which stands for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, may switch that T to an A for America as it continues to expand in the U.S. Amid these concerns, the cabinet approved a nearly $17 billion package that includes more than $1.5 billion to support companies facing U.S. tariffs, to offer business loans, and to promote Taiwan's products abroad.
当然，政府也是各位在海外打拼台商的坚实后盾。行政院这几年持续提出了投资台湾3大方案，就是希望我们在全球布局的台商同时跟留台湾。 在台湾的根能够扎得更深。
Officials say they will continue to communicate with various industries about their needs. With a trade environment that keeps changing, Taiwan's government and businesses are adjusting to keep the country competitive. Alex Chen and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
A major regional trade pact may consider adding new members when it meets next month in Malaysia.
RCEP meeting, we want to focus on issues that will help RCEP members. There are also suggestions about how to improve the current RCEP that we have. There are even suggestions about bringing in new countries into RCEP.
The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership includes the 10 ASEAN members, as well as China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. Next month will be the group's first meeting since signing an agreement in 2020 to reduce tariffs and increase investment. Analysts say the partnership could be an important buffer against U.S. tariffs. Taiwan President Lai Ching-te is emphasizing Taiwan's role in defending democratic values worldwide.
Taiwan stands on the front line
of the fourth island chain in the Indo-Pacific and directly faces the threats of authoritarianism. In this uncertain era, Taiwan will continue to be a pilot for world peace and a force for global prosperity.
Lai was speaking in a video address to the Concordia Annual Summit in New York. He said Taiwan is investing in its self-defense, advancing cybersecurity, and building up supply chain resilience. The president also emphasized the importance of unity and said that Taiwan is working with other democratic countries to stand against authoritarianism. As major international organizations hold big meetings this week, Taiwan continues its push for its participation. Cadence Carranto reports.
With both the general debate of the UN General Assembly and the tri-annual meeting of the International Civil Aviation Organization set to begin tomorrow, Taiwan is pushing hard for what it says is its rightful inclusion in these international organizations. In a press conference, Taiwan's foreign ministry said this about their efforts to get UN recognition.
在联大期间的话呢，外交部也已经积极的竞洽友邦以及理念相近的国家，能够争取在相关的各国。 能够以最适当的方式来助我。
Taiwan has not been a member of the UN since 1971, when China's seat was transferred from the Republic of China, Taiwan's official name, to the People's Republic of China in Beijing, under UN Resolution 2758. It has since been excluded from the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO, which is a UN agency, apart from once attending as a guest in 2013 under the name Chinese Taipei. But Taiwan continuously pushes for its inclusion. Ahead of the start of the ICAO Assembly in Montreal, Taiwan officials, along with Canadian members of Parliament, led a press conference in Canada to argue Taiwan should be allowed to join. This comes amid recent air safety tussles between Taipei and Beijing, including a contested flight path down the Taiwan Strait that's led to what Taipei calls dangerous commercial flights. Taiwan's exclusion from the ICAO, they argue, makes global air travel less safe.
ICAO's mission is to promote the safe and orderly development of international civil aviation. Excluding Taiwan, an essential stakeholder managing one of the busiest FIRs in East Asia, undermines that mission and puts passengers at risk. Ladies and gentlemen, Taiwan is not a bystander in global aviation. We are asking to be included in ICAO's meetings, activities, and mechanisms.
Taiwan has also long disputed the very basis for its exclusion from the UN. Taiwan argues that Resolution 2758 only addresses China's representation in the UN and does not explicitly address Taiwan's, so it should not be used to keep Taiwan out, as China argues. Already, leaders and lawmakers from a number of different countries have stood out in support of Taiwan's participation in both the UN and the ICAO. And as both organizations hold big meetings this week, Taiwan is urging more countries to stand in its favor. John Su and Cadence Carranto for TaiwanPlus.
The U.S., Japan, and South Korea have reaffirmed the need for stability in the Taiwan Strait. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Japanese Foreign Minister Iwaya Takeshi, and South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Hyun met in New York. In a joint statement, they expressed concern about increasingly frequent destabilizing actions around Taiwan, as well as their opposition to any attempts to change the status quo, referring to Taiwan's current political situation. That statement also opposes what it calls unlawful maritime claims and destabilizing actions in the South China Sea. It did not name China directly. Taiwan's foreign ministry welcomed the statement, and it said the country will continue to work with like-minded partners to ensure peace and stability in the region. China says its newest aircraft carrier has launched and recovered aircraft for the first time using a cutting-edge electromagnetic catapult. The Fujian is now the second carrier in the world after the U.S.'s Gerald R. Ford to feature this type of technology. The new system supports both bigger and smaller aircraft than normal steam catapults and is more compact. The launch is seen as a significant technological breakthrough for the country's military. It comes as China expands its navy amid rising tensions in the Taiwan Strait and in the South China Sea. China is using Facebook pages and AI-generated videos as tools of political influence targeting Taiwan. The campaigns are aimed at shaping public opinion here. And as Alan Liu reports, It means media literacy will become a crucial line of defense.
A safe space Taiwanese people used to complain online may have become a hotbed for disinformation. A wave of Facebook pages that collects anonymous complaints from users has come under scrutiny after reports surfaced that they're being run by content farms in China. A number of companies are using places like Hong Kong as a base to take over Taiwanese Facebook pages. In 2024, they were exposed for spreading disinformation during Taiwan's presidential election. These pages normally post everyday content provided by the public.
Their audience is the people that they do not care about political issue and mostly care about maybe about where are going to travel and good food or maybe movie star.
But some analysts say pages like these are aimed at driving ad revenue and sometimes pivot to political disinformation or propaganda.
Some of the content from are trying to spread some political issues such as the AIT's narrative about Taiwan's stand. And this is the national security field.
And there are also concerns that a rise in AI-generated content could be used to influence Taiwanese people, with one YouTube channel posting deepfake videos smearing Taiwan President Lai Ching-te.
台湾的时间不多了啦，现在中国大陆越来越强大，美国已经无法遏制中国了。
China claims Taiwan as its own and has increasingly ramped up gray zone tactics to pressure the country. Some lawmakers say AI is being used to divide Taiwan.
用伪造的政治人物的影像、内容，那去制造贬义台湾、分裂台湾内部、制造仇恨，他的论调跟内容立场几乎都跟中共长期都是一致的。
AI-generated short videos were also rampant on social media during Taiwan's summer recall campaigns, with AI literacy researchers finding that most of these AI tools or videos stem from China.
Before, the traditional disinformation is relied on text or YouTube. It's more longer, but the mini clips now it was spreading. It was very short, like just few seconds, and there is no text, no story, but it has a very strong emotion. It's trying to trigger our emotion, and it's spreading fast on reels and shorts because the algorithm.
As Taiwan builds up its defense capabilities, another battle is already unfolding online, where Chinese-owned pages and AI-generated videos are targeting the Taiwanese public. Patrick Chen and Ellen Liu for TaiwanPlus.
France has recognized a Palestinian state, joining a string of Western countries like the UK and Canada that have done the same in recent days.
Le temps est venu.
Time has come. This is why, loyal to my country's historic commitment to the Middle East, for peace among Israeli people and Palestinian people, I declare that France recognizes today the state of Palestine.
Meanwhile, Taiwan's foreign ministry says it has no plans to recognize Palestine. It also rejects a map issued by Palestine showing Taiwan as part of China. That said, it says it has called for dialogue, a ceasefire, and the release of hostages to end the war in Gaza. It also says Taiwan has donated aid to help those affected by the conflict. Coming up after the break, we take you to one rural Taiwan district that's taking a unique approach to dementia care. Stay tuned for that.
From a small studio in Taiwan to a global community for undaunted voices.
I'm just very grateful that they are able to spend time being part of Taiwan Talks and also being here with us today.
It's so refreshing that from a different country, from Taiwan, we are actually getting to see a show without noise, without yelling, and it's just complete facts and expert opinion.
every single episode is about a Taiwan perspective.
Taiwanese speaking something from our heart.
Bringing forward all these different perspectives and voices to engage the world more seriously and continuously.
So the world will know that we are part of this globalized world.
British warship transited the international waters.
We're facing
without compromising our national security.
a lot of potential for these countries.
How important do you think that is?
The rule of law based order.
It's been 3 years of almost every waking hour devoted to the show. Today, we have something, and that something is precious.
For more stories from Taiwan and Osaka, download the TaiwanPlus app.
Welcome back. You're watching TaiwanPlus News. A dam has breached in eastern Taiwan after heavy rain from Typhoon Ragasa. Communities downstream are flooded, with Matayan River Bridge collapsing. Videos taken by local officials and residents show river water flooding the streets in Guangfu Township in Hualien. Officials have declared an emergency and evacuated thousands of people living close to the river, moving them to a local high school. Even as Typhoon Ragasa moves past the country, damage is being felt throughout Taiwan. Irene Lin reports on how fresh produce might be getting more expensive in the wake of the storm.
The king of the winds, what people in Taiwan are calling Typhoon Ragasa. Although it never crossed the main island, its periphery has brought wind and torrential rain to the country's southeast and eastern counties. In Hualien, authorities have evacuated thousands of people living within 10 kilometers from a breaching dam. Outside of the impact zone, some schools in northeastern Yilan County are suspending classes over fears of danger on the way to school. Weather officials lifted a land warning on Tuesday morning as the typhoon moved away, heading towards China's southern province of Guangdong. But rain in Taiwan is still expected through Wednesday.
那受影响最大的地方看起来还是会比较集中在宜兰以南包括花莲、台东，然后到恒春半岛，另外就是在这个高屏的山区这一带，看起来还是会有机会出现比较明显的这个降雨。
In Taipei, on and off rain since Monday is dampening the mood in produce markets. Some vendors say it's too early to tell if the typhoon will scale up prices, but this year's harvests appear stronger, thanks to the farmers being better prepared after 3 back-to-back storms in July and August.
本身的产量已经蛮稳定，而且他们现在产地都有做那种冷藏柜的储存，所以保鲜度都还蛮好的。只是说怕说如果真的有碰到下大雨的话，有一些叶菜类泡水，可能会有一点水伤啦，变成说它的品质。
But some vegetables from central and southern Taiwan are now more expensive, as farmers recover from previous storms and grapple with competition from around the region.
中南部的葱被水淹过之后，然后它种的成长期，它大概要3至6个月，然后它才会再长出来，它们才可以再收成。那这段时间空窗期的话，是它会连带着宜兰的葱也会跟着长。
The country is gearing up to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival, where pomelos are an irreplaceable part of the festivities. These pomelos are from Maodou in Tainan, an area in the south that's been hit hard, with supply dwindling and prices skyrocketing.
跟往年比的话，差不多多个20-30块跑不掉。
那个品质比较差的跟品质比较好的那个价差。
哦，价差有的很大哦。 有的甚至价差50至100哦。
那你会不会担心，就是现场来买的客人会？
不担心啦，因为这个是应节的东西嘛，时间到他们要吃就吃，不吃的人你怎么勉强他们也不会要啊。
Taiwan's typhoon season can stretch close to the end of the year. With each storm, government and local residents hope to adapt better to any potential threats. Howard Zhang and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Nestled in the mountains, one rural Taiwan district is taking a unique approach to caring for community members living with dementia. It's one of the only so-called dementia villages in the world. Cadence Quaranta has this story.
This community center is where people living with dementia in one small Taiwan village come to spend their days. They are residents of Pingxi, a rural district nestled in the mountains of northern Taiwan. Many know it as a popular tourist destination where people come to send off sky lanterns. But look past the lantern shops and you'll notice something else. More than 35% of Pingxi's residents are over 65, or 1 in every 3 people, making it the oldest district by percentage of elderly residents in all of Taiwan. With few job opportunities, most of its young people have moved away. Currently, around 80 of those residents have dementia, an incurable neurological condition that causes gradual cognitive decline. Wang Chen Yingzi is one of them. She was diagnosed with dementia last year. It can make her forgetful, and she's afraid of the symptoms getting worse. Still, she's able to go on with her life, spending most of her days at the district's dementia center, and in the afternoons, venturing to a nearby pavilion to chat with friends. Wang Chen Yingzi and other Pingxi residents living with dementia are able to live comfortably here because of a unique network of care that involves not just its dementia center, but virtually every part of society. Together, the community has turned Pingxi into a dementia village, one of just a few in the world, and the only one that has formed organically around where people with dementia already live, rather than being purpose-built. It began with Pingxi's local health center. Around 2017, they started testing everyone in the community that was over 65 for dementia, around the same time that Taiwan's national government began pushing dementia care. For those showing serious symptoms, the center worked with a larger hospital to make the process of getting a formal diagnosis easier. And because transportation in Pingxi is limited and the nearest hospital is an hour away, they started driving people to appointments. Later, they began focusing on education, informing everyone in the community about dementia and its effects, so that they could help care for their neighbors and friends.
因为变成是等于是自己区里面的人自己照顾，对，可以透过这样子的大家互相帮助的一个心，照顾的心，可以让这边的老人可以比较安心的在这里过生活。
再就是说，希望这些老人家能够在地安老，我们很注重的就是一个在地化的一个概念。那在地化有好的照顾，然后生在这里，老在这里，所以那种在地安老的概念。
Allowing people to grow old where they already live, are most comfortable, and already have friends and routines is the central goal here in Pingxi. And they've been able to do so successfully because virtually every part of society has jumped in to help, doing their part to take care of those around them in their own ways. Klein Wang, John Su, Pichi Zhuang, and Cadence Quaranta for TaiwanPlus.
Tune in again on Wednesday for the second part of this story, where we'll see how everyone in Pingxi is pitching in to help create this unique approach to dementia care. Badminton enthusiasts are in for a treat in southern Taiwan, where hundreds of top badminton players have gathered for a major competition. Our reporter Sandy Chi was at the first day.
Top badminton athletes from around the world are facing off in the southern port city of Kaohsiung. Almost 300 players from 15 different countries are fighting for glory at this year's Victor Kaohsiung Masters 2025. Badminton is one of the most popular sports in Taiwan in recent years. The country's athletes have made a strong mark on the world stage, led by stars such as Tokyo Olympic silver medalist Dai Ziying, as well as the men's doubles pair, Li Yang and Wang Qiling, who won gold at the Paris Olympics.
因为我本身有在打羽毛球这样子，所以就有关注就是羽毛球相关的赛事。希望可以越来越多比赛，这种比赛可以在台湾举办，就是因为就是台湾在羽球的这一块表现其实也相当的好，对，所以也希望说在这一块有更好的发展。
大概打了5年，就刚开始是为了身体健康，后来就是为了减肥这样子。高雄的球馆越来越多，高雄的球馆在打球，而且然后场地也租不太到这样子。
Among the athletes competing this year, 21-year-old Ding Yancheng is leading Taiwan's team. He previously won the men's single gold medal at the 2025 World University Games. He says he hopes to defend the championship in Kaohsiung. Last year, Taiwan bagged 3 gold and 4 silver medals. The competition will run through September 28th, and Taiwan's athletes are determined to keep as many gold medals as possible on home soil. Lu Fili and Sandy Chi in Kaohsiung for TaiwanPlus.
And thank you for joining us here on TaiwanPlus News. Follow us on social media to get updates from us in your feed. Finally, here's more images of the impact of Typhoon Ragasa in Taiwan and in the Philippines. I'm Eric Gao. Take care. We'll see you next time.